Other than being a sensational basketball player, Joel Embiid isn't who you think he is. Addictions, dark secrets, and even murder. These are 10 things that you didn't know about Joel Embiid. First up, Joel Embiid is hiding a secret behind his girlfriend's back. The superstar has a secret lover that he is absolutely obsessed with. This secret lover of his also happens to be a super famous celebrity and has the 27th most followed account on all of Instagram, Rihanna. This relationship started in 2014 when Embiid tweeted at Rihanna saying, "Hey baby, holla at me. Dinner at Giorgio's at 9:30 p.m. at Rihanna." Embiid then made countless tweet after tweet about Rihanna. However, she said, "Come back when you're an all-star." Still, after this, Embiid continued to relentlessly tweet at Riri. He even went to see her live and talked about her with his teammates. After all this, in 2017, he finally had a chance to become an all-star and asked his fans to vote for him so he could score. Finally, Embiid made the All-Star team and had the opportunity to get with Rihanna, but even though he was an All-Star, she still said no. He even tried to get Kelly Rowland to set them up.
I mean, look at myself.
Confident.
I'm
Confident.
Look,
I'm
7'2". I'm 7'2". I'm good looking. You know, women usually love my accent because I'm from Cameroon in Africa. And I'm pretty intelligent too, so.
After finding out she wasn't true to her word, Embiid finally cut off any chance of them dating in 2018.
Team is trying to cool you off here, but years ago, you were denied by a young woman who told you to come back when you were an all-star. Is there anything you'd like to say to anybody on TNT right now?
I mean, she denied me back then, so why go with her again? So I have to pass that and move on to the next one.
Unfortunately, she missed her chance at our boy Joe. Besides, she wasn't his first pick anyway. His first pick was actually Kim Kardashian before finding out she was married to Kanye West. But hey, maybe he could slide into her DMs now. As bad as this is, this next thing is even worse. Embiid actually has a terrible addiction. Growing up poor and in a country like Cameroon, this is the last thing you want, but Embiid couldn't resist it. So, in college, he dreamt of making the NBA just so he could make enough money to satisfy his addiction. His Shirley Temple addiction, that is. Yep, in college, Embiid took his first sip and he was instantly hooked. He has said that he now drinks at least one a day. Could you imagine having a Shirley Temple a day? He loves them so much that he even has them custom made just to quench his thirst, and he even drinks them while on the bench during Sixers games. That's crazy. But hold up, at least this addiction isn't as bad as being a murderer. Yep, that's right, Embiid is a murderer, and if that wasn't bad enough, he did it when he was just 6 years old. Back in his home country of Cameroon, all he wanted was to earn his people's respect and become a true man. However, his athletic skills were not enough. So one day, he decided he had to do something that no other current athlete would ever do. You see, in order to become a man in Cameroon, you had to kill a lion.
When I was about 6 years old, you know, I had to go in the jungle to kill the lion. So that was a way for me to prove that I was a man, and so that was also a way for me to become a man. So I went into the jungle, I had a spear, and I threw it at a lion, and he fell asleep, and then I just came and killed him. And then I carried the lion on my back to the village, and carried it. And when I got to the village, I proved that I was a man, and I became a man since I was 6 years old.
Wait, you're 6 years old, you kill a lion, you bring the lion back to the village.
Yep.
Man, I've heard some crazy NBA stories, but killing a lion at 6? Well, that's just unheard of. But things aren't all bad. Embiid actually has a hidden talent.
What did the grapes say when he got stepped on? What? Not much, he just let it out of a little wine. This is stupid.
Everyone knows that Embiid is a great basketball player, but many people don't know that he has another secret talent, which is that he is also an incredible soccer player. Embiid would even go so far as to proclaim himself the best soccer player in the NBA, and after watching his skills, we wouldn't dispute this fact either. However, being a 7'1" monster, it must be pretty hard for him to keep the ball skills as it's a long way down. The big man, also known as the Process, loves to show off his skills all over the internet and even at games. He also loves to support his favorite soccer team, which is Arsenal. He supports them because, according to him, he just really loves French people. Okay, Jojo, you do you, man. We can all agree on one of the reasons Embiid loves France, though, which is that croissants are indeed a favorite. As well as being a great soccer player, Embiid has another secret sport he could have gone pro in. I guess the guy is just a natural athlete, but he didn't start playing basketball until he was 16 years old. In fact, in his early years, Embiid had dreams of becoming a pro in another sport. Back in Cameroon, every kid grows up with the same vision of becoming a professional athlete one day. Embiid was no exception to this fact. Everyone in his home country grew up with dreams of becoming a soccer player or, in Embiid's case, a volleyball player. Although you might not have guessed it, Embiid is also an incredible volleyball player. However, looking at his size, you could definitely tell he would be a great player. Embiid actually played volleyball until he was 16, and only then did he decide that he would make the switch over to basketball after growing so tall. We're super glad he did make the control over because he is an excellent player. However, we would have loved seeing him on that Wisconsin team, if you know what we mean. It's no secret that Embiid loves his sport and now wouldn't give it up for the world, but before even playing a single college game and during the 2015-16 NBA season, he had some dark thoughts. These thoughts would have made us very sad if he had gone through them. Luckily for all his fans, he stuck through and didn't listen to himself because Joel Embiid had thought about quitting basketball multiple times. As you probably know, when the big guy came to America, he went to Kansas University. Still, before he even got a chance to suit up, his brother, unfortunately, passed away. This took a massive toll on Embiid's mental health and made him seriously consider giving up basketball for good, but luckily for him and us, he didn't. However, even after making the NBA, these thoughts hadn't completely disappeared. In the 2015-16 NBA season, Embiid was facing his second year in a row in which he was out with an injury. Because of this, Embiid was seriously considering quitting basketball and moving back to Cameroon because he believed his injuries may have ruined his career. Fortunately, he didn't leave and returned stronger than ever. These weren't the only troubles Embiid faced in America, because when Embiid first got to America, he had many different problems. But lucky for him, he had a very famous teacher. The first few weeks must have been hard for him as he wasn't very good at English, and everyone in America spoke it. Moving to a new country and having to learn a new language simultaneously to pursue his hoop dreams must have been demanding. Luckily, he had a very famous teacher to teach him how to speak English, Rick Ross and Lil Wayne. Although JoJo didn't personally know Rick Ross and Lil Wayne, he has said that their music has had an enormous impact on how he was able to learn English. Embiid said that when he got to the States, he really started to get into Rick Ross and Lil Wayne. As well as this, D'Angelo Russell said that Embiid used to quote Rick Ross in almost every conversation you had with the big man, and that he was an absolute character. After enough conversations with the man, I'm sure you could get to know every Rick Ross song by heart. Along with having a famous teacher, Embiid also met an NBA legend in his teen years who helped shape him into the player he is today. His talent was discovered by none other than NBA legend Luc Mbaramout. In the summer of 2011, during his time in Cameroon, just 3 months after he started playing organized basketball, he was invited to Luc Mbaramout's training camp. This baffled him and his family. However, he was already 6'10" at 17. Even though he was invited to this camp, Embiid's father, Thomas, a national handball champ, wanted him to stick with volleyball, stating, "No one plays basketball in Cameroon." Luckily, he didn't listen to his dad and became a star in the NBA. which I bet his dad will be excited about. But what's even crazier than him discovering his talent is that the two of them actually managed to play together in the NBA. Isn't it crazy how idols can go to teammates in just a few years? Enough with Embiid's experiences, and let's get to the time that Embiid ruined someone's career with just a statement. Embiid is one of the NBA's most relentless trash talkers and is a hilarious guy. Still, one time, he took it so far that it could have ruined this guy's basketball career forever. Even though Embiid said he was done with trash talking,
I don't want to talk trash.
he still had to make an exception. After his brawl with star center Karl Anthony Towns, Embiid went to Instagram to say, "I was raised around lions, and a cat pulled on me tonight. A mow at Jimmy Butler. I miss being part of the third stringers. I got his mom giving middle fingers. That's some serious real estate." Of course, Kat responded, but Embiid took it a step up by commenting on Towns' Instagram post, saying that he had never played a playoff game and that Embiid owned him. Wow, luckily for Kat, he is an incredible player, so this brawl didn't affect him too much, but damn, that was heated. However, this trash talk is nothing compared to Embiid's dark secret. No, sir, Joel is hiding something that has shocked even his biggest fans. While most people achieve this feat in their late teens, one of the biggest NBA stars didn't accomplish it until he was 26. This secret is that Joel Embiid can't drive. Yep, that's right, the Philly sensation didn't get his listen until 2020. He is on record for attempting to learn at least 4 times before this, but couldn't quite get the hang of it. That is crazy talk. He was in the US for over 9 years before he finally got his license. But now, I'm sure he'll be driving everywhere with his brand new license. Now, Joel Embiid has done some exciting things with his life and is definitely a hilarious person, but do you know who owns some even more exciting items? Shaquille O'Neal, and we know you want to hear more about his most expensive items, so make sure to check out our other videos to see more.